Hello and welcome to Defender's Quest 2, Mists of Ruin. If you would like to check out the game, there is a link in the description. Now, Defender's Quest 1 was one of my favorite games ever, and this is the sequel to that, so you can imagine how excited I am. However, maybe you're not really gonna like it. I don't know. It's a little bit of a callback, massive nostalgia for me personally. Let's start a new game here. And there is a rather interesting story, actually. I don't really remember too much about Defender's Quest 1. I just remember that I loved the gameplay mechanics associated with that, and we're going to see what we have here. There is a hole in reality, spilling madness from the mind of a dead king, and with it, the murk rises. The murk defies gravity, alters land and body and soul, and with every shift of its tide, the people of the shining lands watch their pinprick of light on the surface of the world slip away. Vessels bearing the combined force of humanity launch themselves towards the threshold between the shining lands and the murk, only knowing that monsters stream from the world below. The bounty hunters of our tale have a single advantage over the press of would-be heroes, a captain willing to die to fulfill her word. This power will damn them. Alright, so we got our first little battle here. Evney Hunt is going to save the Shining Lands, and that is indeed her name. Captain, you didn't eat your soup. You know I don't eat much when we're on a job. We're always on a job. Speaking of jobs, pilot, how close are we to the flood zone? We've just arrived, Captain, and our passenger appears to be complaining about the route change. Again? If the summons of the capital aren't enough to get her to shut up, tell her she'll get all the research material she needs once we hit the front line. Must be hell of a disturbance for the capital to pull us off of bounty duty. That's what I hear. Crew, the threshold's rising, and if reports are to be believed, there's monsters following in its wake. We don't find out why. The Shining Lands, our friends, our children, they all drown, and ain't no bringing 'em back. Does the Reeves transporter work? Affirmative. We're ready to sail and smash. Then let's go hunting. Alright, so she is our first unit, as you can see right here. She is single-minded and relentless, specializes in medium-range melee strikes. Now, as I said, this game is a huge nostalgia fest for me, and I love what they have done with the gameplay mechanics as well. Absolutely love it. They just know how to push my buttons, and they have definitely done that. So, as you can see, what we're going to do is we're obviously going to just learn how to play the game a little bit. Yes, we'll learn how to play the game, and we're just going to be placing her right there. There we go. Fantastic. Defenders can't move and attack enemies automatically. Right now, the game is paused. You can also press space in battle to toggle this, or you could just press on these buttons down here. This is what I absolutely also love about this game. They don't try to waste your time by making you go through tutorials that don't have any kind of time controls. For example, if I wanted to, I could literally, I'm going to boost her, by the way. Boosting is basically called, basically it's upgrading, okay? So when you upgrade your characters, you're going to give them additional skills. So for example, as you can see right here, she now has double hit, and she's going to be doing a lot of damage. Unusual critters, you're collecting data for our special passenger. I'm seeing every slice, Captain. The Reeves uses juice to summon defenders. Killing enemies recharges your juice. Those creatures are full of juice. Juice is a natural resource. We're supposed to be pulling that out of the ground. Don't go asking questions about this dive. I see an opportunity here. Let's dance, bugs. Alright, so, as I said, I'm not a big fan of games that tend to waste your time unnecessarily, and this game doesn't do that, because what I can do right now is I can literally just press on the ×8 button, and immediately, boom, you can literally play the game at ×8 speed, and that's it. Really nice and easy, right? You don't have to worry about, going through the entire thing, and it doesn't treat you like you are stupid, which I very much appreciate as well. Because some games do tend to do that nowadays. But yes, anyway. Square bonuses are bonuses for a given skill, and circle are skills themselves, and we can now place a little skill point in damage increasing slash right there. So we're now going to increase our slash damage a little bit there, because Evni leveled up, of course, because we're going to be gaining experience, because this is actually kind of like an RPG as well, because you can see here, every single character has a number of stats, and these stats can increase over time, and you can also equip them with items as you go forward in the game. It's worse than the capital told us. Much worse, it appears. We can ask for more money. Heck, we should ask for more money. They didn't give us all the facts because any other bounty crew would have run. We already agreed on a fee dive. Anyway, I'm intrigued now. I'm here to see how it ends. Captain, No time, Roland. We got a trail to follow. But you still didn't eat your soup. Yep. Still didn't eat the soup. And there we go. We are now going to be going on to 1-2. Are we really going to follow these bugs to their nest or whatever's threatening to flood the Shining Lands? If we have to. A lot of monsters out there, and that shoreline keeps horizon. Is that going to be a problem for you? Well, you know my components need juice. I'm aware. I'm also aware that you used to siphon extra juice from a mission, refine it into Glowtex back in your room. Is that a drug of some kind? I assume. I can still help. I want to help. Then piloting the Reeves doesn't count as help. You know what I mean. Warren, when you see me out there fighting, did you want to take that juice yourself? I really did. Then I would heavily suggest you staying in the Reeves as long as possible. Point taken, Captain. Yeah, so she obviously has a problem. She has some kind of drug addiction or something along those lines. And also, bear in mind, okay, this is something that I want to highlight to you straight away as well. Every single thing in the game is key bindings. Key bindings. Really? That's what I wanted to say? No. Every single thing in the game is key bound, so you can pretty much just do whatever you want to do right here. You can boost her immediately, and then we can just go on. Hey, send me more juice. You're going to boost your abilities by burning juice like those automatons we had to stop using. Bingo. Let's use the extra juice from these bugs for good, shall we? Yeah, so I've already boosted her, so I don't need to worry about that. As you can see, I already boosted her. I kind of jumped the gun a little bit, I suppose. And otherwise, we're just going to play at ×4 speed, just in case something happens and I need to pause immediately, because ×8 is very fast, and unless you're super confident or you have a lot of, distance between you and the enemies, then you're not really going to have too many things to worry about too much. Okay, so as you can see right here, this is exactly what I was talking about. Evni can't reach this new line of enemies right here. You've got support in fire. Look at you, Mr. Charming. The Reeves won't let you spin up the Reeves let you spin up the cannons again. Yes, exactly. So we are now going to be using the little laser cannon right here. Boom. Insane amounts of damage being done with the laser right there. And we can use enemies, actually use the laser to shoot enemies that slip by. And you have to use it sparingly because it costs juice to use. And you can also press space to toggle the pause button and so on and so forth. So, also what's really amazing about this game, every single entranceway that you have, as you can see on the map here, is marked by an icon. And you can see at the top line, or shall we say the timeline, you can see at the, the icons on the enemy's portraits, they each have that same symbol dependent on where they're coming from. And that is exceptional because it tells you exactly what you need to know to play the game as you like. And I think that's absolutely fantastic. We're going to be going for Lone Wolf right here. Lone Wolf is going to be very, very good for us. Well, hey, Reeves, you're holding up pretty well out there. You rumble. This is Reeves right here. It's a living being of some kind, I think. We haven't been to the flood zone in a while, but I'm feeding him his favorites. He should be able to go as far as we need. Are you seeing the same thing I'm seeing? Bounty crews and military vessels turning back towards the capital by the dozens, others falling like flies? I sure am. That could be us. We have combat data. We could go back and be a part of a larger response. We took a job dive. We gave our word. These creatures have to be coming from somewhere. We find the source, we end the threat, and the threshold stops rising. I'll burn through the murk itself if it means saving our city. Understood? We're right behind you, Captain. Indeed. Okay, so now we have the opportunity to play on different difficulty levels, as you can see, and this increases the amount of rewards that you're going to get. So, for example, let's say that you want to do, if you want to do normal, you're going to get one of these. You're going to get 1 star, and you're going to get experience, and you're also going to be getting a perfect bonus as well. And that is indeed another resource that you can use to spend at the shop, as far as I'm aware. We're just going to play normal for the moment, but we'll see if we increase that at a later time. Miss Hunt, I almost thought the rest of the Shining Lands abandoned those of us living on the coast. They have. We're stopping at your shop for supplies. Oh, well, that's news. You're also, taking a lot of items off of the shelves? I intend to pay for them. That said, these shelves might not be here in a few minutes. Captain, you wanted to know when the creatures were half a reel away. They're here. Mind saving these ropes for me? I gotta take care of something outside. Oh, of course. I'm not sure if there's anyone else left to sell these to anyway. And here we go. Alright, so we can basically just place some people here. This is obviously still the tutorial to a certain degree, so we're not really having to super hardcore worry about anything at this point. So I'm going to be playing on ×4 speed once again, and this is where we get introduced to a new enemy. Again, one of those things that I really appreciate about this game. If I can actually speak, I'm just too excited about this game, okay? That's the reason why I'm having so many difficulties speaking today. Isn't that wonderful? Yeah, I mean, it's a good problem to have, right? It's a good problem to have. Anyway, what I really like about it is they introduce enemies at a decent pace. You don't get overwhelmed with the amount of enemies, but you know, with the amount of different enemies that is, or you don't really get bored with the same amounts of enemies. So they really have a good balancing there. Head back to the ship if you get really hurt. We'll cross that bridge if we get there. Yeah, so bear in mind, these enemies attack us, as you can see. So every single one of our defenders is potentially capable of dying. So we have to be very, very careful on that. Very, very careful, because if they die, we're going to have some issues. Gonna have some big problems. There we go, another perfect. And we're gonna be leveling up some more. Evney is gonna be doing fine there, and then we can go to the store. The Shining Army, the Council, we had assurances. We're a part of the same nation, the same heart. I was promised security. There's monsters made of juice out there. The way most people work. You don't have a deal no more. How much are these supplies going to cost me? 2,000 credits. Fixing prices at the end of the world. How about that? Bone, give the man what he's asking for. Money won't be any good past this point. We'll be relying on scrap, and it might be the last payment he sees. Alright, so that's exactly why we're going to go in here, and then we can buy this, and this is indeed scrap. So what we're going to do is we're immediately going to be equipping this. It tells you exactly which heroes, by the way, can equip the particular item. Another wonderful quality of life improvement. I mean, really, they just know what to do when it comes to creating a game that doesn't make you do anything significantly annoying or tedious. And I think that that's fantastic. You know, it's one of those things where you just kind of go, where did that go? You know, where did that go? Because there's a lot of games out there that generally don't do that. They just don't. They just kind of go, hey, you know what? We're going to waste your time as much as possible. Obviously, I'm not talking about this game, but it's actually crazy. Anyway, is our secondary transport working? It was last week. You aren't planning to go out there, are you? From what we've already seen of these creatures, they're going to keep evolving. I'm planning to hit them with something they won't expect. Best prepare your apology for the captain early, then. Yeah, so now we got a new person, and he's going to be coming out. He is Evney's personal bodyguard, and you can see here, we are now going to be summoning him. So let's put her here, him there. Roland, I thought I ordered crew to stay on the reefs. One of the onions rolled off the ship. Came down here to get it. Oh, I better stay out of your way then. And so at boost level 2, Roland can use his second technique, Bounce. Boosting improves stats and unlocks techniques until the defender gets knocked out or is recalled. So we can now boost him. And as you can see, he's now going to be able to bounce people back. And that's going to be exceptionally good. And yeah, you can see here, obviously, his stats. You can obviously change. This is also what's really, really cool, by the way, is that, yeah, he also has a taunt effect. So you can, you know, he basically attracts enemy attacks so that she is completely safe. Now, this is something else that I want to just highlight to you real fast. This game has advanced targeting techniques. So in other words, as you can see right here, we have cheapest techniques. So you save higher boost techniques for targets that can't be killed with a lesser one. Optimize effects. Use status effect attacks against the least affected enemy. Target the enemy least likely to dodge or resist the attack. And then you have Bulldog mode, which never changes targets until the enemy leaves range or dies. This is kind of tricky and recommended for advanced players only. So there's a huge amount of different ways that you can target your opponents, as well as obviously target strongest, last, weakest, fastest, etc. Same sort of stuff that you'll find in most tower defense, but the advanced mechanics, fantastic. Really, really cool to see that. Alright, so let's speed up to ×4. We're going to be boosting her as fast as I can. There we go. She's boosted. Now she can do some really, really good damage. And as you can see, he is literally taking all the damage. She's not taking any damage whatsoever right now, which is exactly what we want. We do not want her taking damage in the least, because look at his... He's taking some good damage right now, right? But we don't need to worry about that. And now I can just use my little laser just to do some damage, because some of these guys are going to get through. And we can even advance her to level 3 if we want to. As you can see, we did that. And then boom, there you go. Another perfect. Fantastic. And then we're going to be getting Evney to the next level. We can then immediately click on her, go to this, increase her damage of double hit by a certain amount. And then we can move onward. You managed to catch those onions that rolled off the ship? Oh, yeah, of course. Then why aren't there onions in the pantry? If you and Warren make the choice to come out here and you fall, I may not be able to catch you. Don't make me choose between you and the job, understood? Aye, Captain. Oh, and Roland. Thanks for chasing those onions today. Always, Captain. Oh yeah, see, they've got some good camaraderie right there. Love that. Alright, so now we have Ice Bomb Cannon, and obviously, as you can see right here, we're going to be spending this unique resource to be able to buy that. And that is going to allow us to freeze enemies for 8 seconds, which is actually exceptionally good. This is really, really powerful. Looks like you recognize this part of the coast. Oh, you're watching me steer? Blame that on bad habits. I used to spend a lot of time out here. Bad habits? There's quite a few juice mining rigs out on the coast. By the threshold, I'd sail around, figure out when juice would get shipped back to port. Sometimes a canister or two wouldn't make it back to the Shining Lands. Mysteriously. I'm better now, really. I'm staying inside the ship. Dive if you ever want to talk about it. Blockade of juice monsters ahead. Time to go. Aye, Captain. Before I go, I just wanted to let you know, I don't judge you for that past. I hope you don't judge yourself for it either. Bone, you were so eager to join me, let's get out there and cut a path. Sorry, Captain, I'm on my way. Alright, so I'm ready, let's do this. So it doesn't really matter where I place them, because I think we basically have, you know, pretty much equal amount of enemies coming both ways, so we don't really need to worry about it either way. And we will no doubt be getting a pretty decent amount of juice as it is. And there's our new enemy, the speed bug. Yes, it can rush past defenders. Oh wow, they actually got through. Okay, gonna restart. I am not allowing people to get through. I'm sorry, there's no way I'm letting these bugs get through. Thanks very much. So yeah, we'll just play on ×4 once again. For some reason my laser didn't actually hit at the appropriate time, so I probably should have paused. But yeah, my bad. Anyway, let's just see what we can do here. Let's go for double hit. There's the speed bug again. We don't need to worry about that too much. Okay, fantastic. Now we can boost this. There we go. We want to get the perfect bonus, you see. We want to get the perfect bonus. That is exactly what we want every single time. And they're both level 2 now, which is obviously much better than we had before. I can obviously freeze them too, so if we do see that a couple of enemies are going to be getting a little bit too close, then we can do something about it. Okay, we're going to be stunning them. There we go. Boost that. Nice, nice, nice. Fantastic. And we're done. Whew. That was a little bit close on ×4. I gotta say, that was a little bit risky. Now we can increase the damage of bounce for Roland right there too. I heard you talking to the captain about wanting to help out there. I want to, but I can't. It's the juice. I wish I could. How long have you been sober now? From using Glotex, I've been sober for about a year. It would have been 4 years, but I relapsed. It's hard, quitting something after you've started up again. I know all about that. I see someone who knows how hard that work is and is doing it anyway. Just thought you should know. I'll get to preparing lunch. Alright, so we got some wholesomeness going on there too, and we're going to be going into this next battle. Let's do it. Hey, Roland. I remember the last time I lost control surrounded by Glotex. Evnie nearly had to put me down herself. The years since then have been long. You've changed. I've seen it. I've seen it too. I wanted to tell you, if I ever start to go too far, stop me before it affects the captain. You've got it, ma'am. Alright, and now we have Warren available, who is a cyborg gunner and pilot of the Reefs. She specializes in long-distance energy attacks. Very cool. It's nice that we've actually got someone who's longer range now. Alright, so we're going to be putting her... Ooh, we get double damage in certain positions. So we're going to put her here, I think. And now we're also going to get to see her in action. So this is fantastic. She's got a Mega Man style blaster on her arm right there. And we are obviously going to be creating a little bit of an extra thing on here. So let's see. Let's put... Actually not entirely sure where to put them, to be honest. We want to make sure that she's there. There we go. Yeah, let's boost her up. She's got lightning shot now available too. Ah, yeah, no, this is a good... Yeah, I think this is some pretty good positioning right now. I don't think we need to worry about this too much. I haven't done this level before, so I'm going to take things a little bit easier than I have been. And let's boost Evnie right now. There we go. Nice, nice, nice. Let's go for ×2 speed. These guys are going to be running real quick, so we do need to make sure that they don't get too close. And we're doing double damage in the yellow areas, so it technically might have been better for me to move her over to this square over here on the right. That probably would have been a better idea. But I think it's okay. I think it's alright. Let's go for ×4. And then we're going to be upgrading Warren immediately. There we go. We survived with injuries, but that's okay. You know why that's okay? Because we were pretty close to the end right there, and the cool thing about this game is that you can replay levels and you're going to be gaining additional experience every single time, as far as I am aware. So, if it works like it did beforehand. Okay, so there's no way for me to... she did level up, but apparently we didn't have anything to spec into. Hey, guys, someone went into the Reefs and rearranged... everything. I believe when I hired your ship, I paid for protection as well as transportation, yes? Am I incorrect? We promised you data, ma'am. We've more than delivered on that front. Behold my surprise when not only the route substantially changes without my approval, but everyone appears to have left me alone while deep in monster country. She color-coded my utensils. And I will do far worse if my research or personal safety is compromised again. Am I understood? You have my word that we'll do better, ma'am. Is it too late for us to drop her overboard in the middle of the night by accident? Unfortunately, yes. Indeed. So very, very funny. So let me actually just see here. Can I play this again for experience? Yes, it does look as though I can play this again for experience if we so desire. So that means that you can indeed grind if you want to. And as you can see, we have this thing right here, which is obviously going to be equipped on Roland. Once again, gaining some nice gear. And we can also get basic armor here too if we want to. So we could technically get that. Let's equip Roland with this, I guess. And there we have it. Anyway, I'm going to leave you here just so you can play the game for yourself if you so desire. I am going to be continuing to play this because I absolutely love it, as you might expect. I am a huge fan of Defender's Quest in general. And otherwise, there is a link in the description if you want to check out the game for yourself. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.